apart. Find that start position with the pelvis. Switch those tummy muscles on. Take your shoulders back and down, head nice and long. So we'll start off with our toy soldier feet. So swapping from one side to the other, really grounding those heels onto the floor and really getting those bottom muscles doing some work. Good. And as you straighten your knees, make those quadriceps do some work as well. Perfect. Then we'll add in alternate arm to leg. Good. Nice. Reaching up to the ceiling. Good. One more each way. And then bend at the elbows, feet on the floor, open through those collarbones, stretch those arms out and back. Good. Nice. Good. One more. On the next one, you want to stretch those arms out, little circles, 5 backwards. And then 5 the other way. Nice. And then back down. Good. One more. Take the arms out. 5 one way. And then 5 the other way. And then back down. Good. Wriggle those shoulders around. Keep those arms down by your side. And do a gentle twist. One way. And then the other. Perfect. One way. And then the other. Good. Hands on the hips. Let's do our foot series. So with the foot series, you're going to bend the knees. Come onto your toes. Straighten up. Back down. Knees, toes, straighten, back down. Knees, toes, straighten, back down. Good. Two more. And then we're going to go on to our toes. Bend the knees, heels down. Toes, knees, heels down. Toes, knees, heels down. Toes, knees, heels down. One more. Good. Okay, so I've dreamt up a few new exercises today. So the first one is little circles. So we're just going to challenge our balance a little bit. And what you do is you're standing on the left leg, you bring the right foot forward. And then you want to come round in a circle to the back. And then go the other way. That's it. So you're going to see you've got the toe on the floor and you're coming all the way around and then back. All the way around and then back. Perfect. Swapping over. This time stand on the right leg, nice and strong. Bring that left leg forward. Switch those tummy muscles on, round in a circle and come back. Round in a circle and come back. So your toes are still in contact with the floor. Perfect. And then back. Then we're going to come into some little mini lunges. So drop the right foot back onto your toe. Then this can be as wide as you like. The wider your lunge, the harder it is to balance. And then we're going to drop back with that back knee down to the floor, back to the top. Down to the floor, back to the top. Nice. Up nice and straight, keeping those tummy muscles working. Two more. Perfect. Swap over. One foot forward, one foot backwards. Good. And then we want to drop down and back up. Drop down, back up. Nice. Keep going. Two more. Perfect. Feet hip width apart. Let's come into some squats. So we'll reach forward this time. So as you're coming into a squat, knees over your second toe, reaching forward. back to the top. Good. Two more. Perfect. Wriggle those shoulders around. Just going to shrug your shoulders. Take your left ear to your left shoulder. And then back. Shrug your shoulders. Take your right ear to your right shoulder. And back. Good. We're going to roll down into lying on the mat. So tuck your chin in. Soften the knees, rolling down. Breath in to hold at the bottom. Back up. Stacking those vertebrae one at a time. Shoulders back and down at the top. And then go again. And then back up. Perfect. And then on the last one, into lying on your back on the mat. Brilliant. Okay, so have your feet and knees together. And then find that start position with the pelvis. So just gently flattening the back, arching the back, and finding that midpoint between the two. Switch those tummy muscles on. So come onto the hip bones, in a bit and down a bit, and then onto the squashy bit, and just using the pelvic floor, tighten those muscles up. Take your arms out to the side. We're going to start with our hip twist. So breath in to prepare. Take both knees to the right, head to the left. Breath in to hold, then all the way back, knees to the left, head to the right. Good. And keep going. So the out breath is the movement. The in breath is the hold, and then the out breath is the movement back over. Keeping those feet stacked, one on top of the other. Good. Let's just do one more each side. So let's take the arms down by our side. Have our feet hip width apart. Keep the hands on the tummy to monitor that the pelvis is staying nice and still. And take the right knee out to the side on the out breath. And then back in. And then the left out on the out breath. And then back in. So you're coming out, back in. And then out, and back in. Good. So the pelvis is staying nice and still, the other knee is staying nice and still. If you had that imaginary tray of drinks on your tummy, it would still be staying there, not falling on the floor. One last one. Good. Then we're going to keep our feet hip width apart, arms down by the side now. Push the foot along the floor into a single leg stretch. When you get to the end of that movement, make sure the bottom's working and the quadriceps are working in the front of the thigh. And then fold back in, and then push away and fold back in. Good. So that movement out is the out breath, the movement back is the in breath. Good. So then, take the arms up to 90 degrees, and as you push the foot away, take the arms overhead. As you bring the leg back, bring the arms round and back to the top. Depends how much space you've got. If you're struggling for space, just keep the hands parallel through both movements. So you're really thinking here about keeping those ribs down. Keeping that nice connection through to the pelvis. Brilliant. One more each side. Okay, so bring those feet and knees together now. Put those arms back up to 90 degrees above your head. And then take both arms out to the side, stretching through the front of the shoulders and then back to the top. So you can have the straight arms or bent arms, it doesn't really matter. We're looking for that nice stretch across the front of the shoulders. So we've been sitting for a long time in front of the computer, that could be feeling tight across the front of the shoulders there. 2 more. Hands down by your side. Feet now hip width apart. We're going to take our towel out from under our head if that feels more comfortable for you when we're doing our shoulder bridge. So with our shoulder bridge, just go as far as you feel you're happy. Breath in to prepare, flatten your back and peel up into the shoulder bridge, opening up through those hips. Breath in to hold at the top and then back down. One vertebra at a time, back to your start position. And then go again. Peeling up through that shoulder bridge, opening up through those hips, and then back down. Good. Keep going. Think about that peeling of those vertebrae one at a time. Imagine a string of pearls, you're just pulling one pearl up at a time. I'm really thinking about that stiff area at the bottom of your back. Think about where the weight is through your feet, base of the big toe, base of the little toe and the heel. And then a last couple, hands across your chest. And then back down. So just challenging your balance a little bit more. On the last one, if we can, we're going to stay in our shoulder bridge. If we're not happy, stay with your bottom on the floor. Take your arms up to 90 degrees and we're going to do our scissor arms. So you want to take one arm overhead, one arm down to the hip. For 10 each side. So that's 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Brilliant. Bring those arms back down then. Come out of your shoulder bridge, take your knees to your chest, just do a little bit of side to side, just releasing off that back. Good. Let's pop our towel back in underneath our head again and come into our double tabletop if we're happy with that position. If not, it's a single tabletop. So we're going to come into that tabletop, squash those ribs down, lifting into that second position. So we're going to take our right foot down to the floor now, and we're going to slide that foot away along the floor, and then fold back in and back up. So we're going to come down with the left, slide it away, and then come in and back up. So foot down, slide away, bend the knee, and then back. And then foot down, slide away, and then back. Good. So keep going. As you slide that foot away, you want to feel those muscles in the front of your thigh working, and those muscles in your bottom working as well. If you're in your single tabletop and you've just done one side, swap over, do the other side. If you were going alternate, then just keep going. This is a really nice exercise actually. So I can in between for the one leg stretch and double tabletop and the one leg stretch on the floor. Good, we'll do one last one and back. And then take both feet down. Push both feet away along the floor, take the arms overhead. Nice. So now stretching the whole of the front of the body. And then we're going to bend the knees and turn onto our side. So in our side lying position, we're going to have our arm long underneath the towel. Feet, bum, shoulders all lined up against the back of the mat. And then we're going to have that little gap underneath the waist there. So a nice straight profile through the back, everything lined up. Okay, so we're going to go on for our level 1 climb. So breath in to prepare, and you want to keep the feet together, take that top knee up out to the side, and then back down. You can have your hand on your hip, or you can have your hand down on the mat. You're looking for that muscle at the back of the hip to do some work. If you're feeling it down the front of the leg, just straighten those legs out a little bit more, and that will target those muscles better. Good. So keep going. Two more. Brilliant. So then, hand down for balance. Lift those feet up to that level 2 position, maintaining that little gap under your waist. Breath in to prepare and keep going with that level 2 climb. Nice. We'll do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring those feet back down. I've got a new adaptation. So we're going to lift that leg, top leg to hip height, as though we're going to do our side kick. But we're going to adapt our climb. So you've got your foot, the top foot lifted, the bottom foot on the floor. We're going to rotate at the hip by taking that knee up out to the side and back down. It's quite difficult. It's really targeting that muscle at the back. We're only going to do the 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lovely. Drop that leg down, give those hips a bit of a rub. We're going to come into our side kick now. So hand down for balance, lift that top leg to hip height, and then you want to bend at that hip crease and take that leg back. So forward and back. Nice. So really getting a nice straight hip through the front there, making those bottom muscles do some work. If the back is arching a little bit, that's fine, but you want to keep that control through the tummy with those tummy muscles working all the time. Last 2. And then we're going to leave that leg in that position, straighten the leg out, get that nice length through the trunk, hand down for balance, and then let's lift and lower for 10. So you're lifting up pointy toe, let the heel lead the way on the way down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lovely. Bend the knees, give those hips a bit of a rub. We're going to go into our arm openings as a little rest before we go on to the other side. So squish your towel up and then bring your arms through, one arm on top of the other. 2 options here. Traditional arm openings, breath in to prepare. Take that top arm up over the top, Nice stretch through the front of the shoulder, middle of the back. And then come back. An adaptation, especially good if you've not got a good neck. Hand behind your ear and then just dropping that elbow back and back to your start position. Good. So whichever you prefer. And if you're running out of room, just bending that top arm is fine. You need a lot of room for arm openings. Okay, one last one. Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to swap over now onto the other side. You're going to bring your towel to the other end of the mat. And you want to start off in that clam start position. So you've got the arm long underneath your towel. And then you've got your feet, bum, shoulders all lined up against the back of the mat. You want to find that start position with the pelvis. Lift that top hip up a little bit and you've got that little gap under your waist. We're going to start going again with our level 1 clam, so breath in to prepare. Take that top knee up out to the side on the out breath, back down on the in. Good. So again, you want to feel this just behind the hip. If you're feeling it down the front of the leg, then straighten those knees out a little bit and that will target the back of the hip. One last one, and then lift those feet up into that level 2 position as though they're resting on a imaginary bottom step but maintaining that gap under your waist. And go again. Good. So, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Drop those feet down. Give those hips a bit of a rub. We're going to lift that top leg then to hip height. And we're going to do an open clam. So the foot is staying lifted, the knee comes up out to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Give those hips a bit of a rub. And then we're going to lift that top leg to hip height again into our side kick. So bend and then straighten. That's it. So if the straightening is coming through that hip, so you're bending forward at the hip, knee stays bent through the movement, take that leg back. Make sure those bottom muscles do the work as you take the leg back. Not too much arch going on in the back, and what arch there is supported by those tummy muscles. Good. Keep going. Good, 2 more. Perfect. So then straighten that leg out. You're maintaining that nice profile through the front of the hip, and then going to lift and lower into that last exercise for the hip. So you can use the foot to point the toe on the way up, let the heel lead the way on the way back down. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lovely. Give those hips a bit of a rub. So we're then going to come into our arm openings. So you're going to squish that towel up Bring those arms through one on top of the other. And then we're going to come with our straight arm or bent arm, breath in to prepare, up over the top, breath in to hold, and then back. And then go again. So nice stretch through the front of the shoulder, middle of the back, using the breathing, out breath on the way over, in breath to hold, out breath as you come back. 2 more. Good. Okay, so we're going to then turn onto our tummy. So, if you normally have a towel or a pillow under your tummy when you go into lying in this position, then do that now. We're just going to do one exercise. So rest your forehead on your towel, hands either side just by your head there, resting on the floor. We're going to push our heels together. So we're turning our feet out into that first position. And then we're going to bend the knees. So you're pushing the heels together. You bend the knees, you've still got those tummy muscles switched on. And what we're doing is we're just firing up those muscles at the back of the hip. So it's the same one we do in the class where we've got the red ball between our feet, but with a bit more control. Two more. Nice, so then come up into 4-point kneeling. Hands and knees. And we're just going to arch the back and then drop back onto the heels and reach forward. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to turn onto our backs now and squish your towel. Couple of stretches. So we're going to start off with our hamstrings on the right side. So hands behind the thigh and stretch up to the ceiling with that foot. Little circles with the foot as well. Just gets everything moving in that leg. Brilliant, and then swap over, and then little circles. Good, and then we'll just stretch out the hips. So just being aware of any new hips in there. Don't push them too far or too hard. Take your right leg across your left knee, and that could be a good enough stretch across the back of that hip. You can also use those tummy muscles and then lift that left leg up, stretching more across the back of the hip. Good. So then, I'm going to swap over. Take that right leg across your left knee. That could be a stretch. If you like, you can lift that right leg up, stretching more across that left glute. Good. And then we're just going to come up into standing. So come up into sitting first, then come up into standing. Nice. Good. So we're going to have our feet hip width apart, Hands down by our side and just doing that gentle twist again, left to right. Good, and then arms down by your side, feet hip width apart, take both arms forward and up. Stretch up with one, and then stretch up with the other. Hands behind your head, little backward bend. Back to the middle. Shrug your shoulders, arms up, all the way back down. Lovely, one more. Both arms forward and up. Stretch up with one, and then with the other. Hands behind your head, little backward bend. Back to the middle. Shrug your shoulders, arms up, all the way back down. Well done.